Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is an assignment. This is a help on the assignment on week two, week two project hospitality. So this is the second assignment in week two. This title hospitality in BUS 115, which is business application. So in this assignment, we learn a whole lot of things and we asked to apply them in in this very assignment. So in this assignment, we will learn to apply lookup function. We will learn to apply. We will also learn to apply how to use name ranges to do what? To calculate and look for the value of other stuffs. Okay, so we have our scenario here. And please make sure that whenever you are saving your file, after you are done with everything, you save it to your last name because you can take marks from your work. Okay. So we'll first start with downloading our workbook. Okay, great. So we've downloaded our workbook. So I'll open it. Okay, so this is our workbook. We have two sheets in our workbook. We have lookup sheets, and then we have the sheet one, which includes or which has the data that we are going to use for the lookup sheet. Okay, so let's quickly look at what the instructions has for us. Okay, so they have provided a scenario here. You can read and then understand what we are going to go through for this whole assignment. Okay, so the requirement asks us to first start with sheet one, the sheet that is named sheet one. So it says that the first bullet point says we should adjust the rows and columns of sheet one to make the sheet easy to read. And then we should rename sheet one as data. Okay, let's do that. To go to sheet one, first of all, try to left click and then rename as data. Okay, and then also to adjust the columns and the rows. Okay, so we'll do that by selecting the whole data. You select the whole data and then make sure you select the whole data. And then just like we've already done before, we come to format and then we'll click on auto fit row height and then you also auto fit the column width. Okay, great. So right now you can see that it is very, very simple and easy to read because everything has open, unlike how it was before. Okay, so still on the right now is data sheet. Let's go. It says use the grouping feature to hide address, city, and state. And then the other one say apply filter feature to the whole range of data and use it to sort the customer in alphabetical order. Leave the filter on. Okay, so we've already done this before. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we are going to first start with the filter. Include filter here. We do that by selecting the topics. So the first row contains the topics, or let's say the heading of each column. Okay, so select the whole headings and then you come here and then you put filter. Okay, and it says that we should use the filter to do what? Sort out the customer name in alphabetical order. So we do that by clicking on this small arrow here and then we click on sort from A to Z, which is in alphabetical order. So when we click on, you see that it does arrange itself in alphabetical order. Okay, and you say that we should group the address, the city, and the state column. So we do that by clicking on this place history. Okay, so when you click on it to select these three, you come to data, and then you click on group. Okay, so you can either minimize it or maximize it. You can either minimize or maximize it. Okay, but for some reason, let us leave it like this. We'll minimize it later. Okay, so let's go to the next bullet point. It says create 3 named ranges for the customer name, phone, and total money spent columns. The range should include row 2 to 587. Okay, these name ranges will make the following calculation much easier. Okay, so we are going to create 3 named ranges for customer name, phone, and then total money. Okay, so I found a very easier way that since the numbers are plenty, okay, maybe clicking to drag will be too much for you. Okay, so you can just click the first name, and then you can scroll to the last part, and then you click on shift, and then you select the last name. Okay, so it's something like click, shift, and click. Okay, so we do that. We name it as customer name, customer name, and then we hit enter. We do the same thing for the total money spent. We click, and then we drag to the last part, and then we click on shift on our keyboard, and then we select the last part. Okay, yes, name it as total money spent. Okay, and then you're supposed to do another one for phone. Yeah, okay, so we'll do the same thing for phone. We select it, we scroll down, and then click on shift on our keyboard, and then select the last one. Okay, so that is very, very cool and easy to do. And then we'll name it in our name box as phone. Great. Okay, so there is one thing I also find out that when we are coming to work on the lookup sheet, okay, to help us to do the lookup very well, it's very important that we use, like, we'll refer to the whole data, and then we'll select from among the data, the column that we want to look up is particular name or a particular address or anything from. Okay, so it is very wise and advisable that you create another name range for the whole data. Okay, so just select from up to this place, because we are going to create other 2 columns there. So select it. Okay. And then name it as what? Who did? Sorry, who did? Hit enter. Okay. So we have created a name range for the whole data. Remember I said from the instructions, we will create additional 2 columns from at end and then O. So it's very advisable that when you are creating a name range for the whole data, you add these 2 columns because we'll insert something there. Okay, so we are done with the name range. Let's see what we have again. Okay, so the next one says create a new column named overall ranking. Use the rank.eq function to rank the customers in descending order, meaning one will have to spend the most money. Okay, so we will do that, and then I think we are supposed to, from the last column, it says we should create a new column named what number of nights, and then we use it to calculate the number of nights that each person stayed at the hotel. If you read the scenario, we'll understand what these things are about. Okay, so we'll do this and then we'll do that together before we'll come to the check-in date and check-out date. Okay, so let's do that. So we'll create 2 columns here. Then we'll name this one overall ranking. And then let me extend it a bit. Okay, and then this one is number of nights. Okay, and then I will extend this one to a bit. Okay, so it says that we are supposed to rank this total money spent, this column, in descending order. Okay, just like we did in the previous assignment. Okay, so we do that by using the rank EQ function. So our function will be, our formula will be equal to rank, you select rank EQ. So since we have already created, sorry, we'll click on this and then the reference will be for this whole data. Okay, we can see the number here. So we select this one and then the reference is this whole data, just like we've done already before. But since we've created a name range for total money spent, we would like to use that. Okay, so insert that as how we saved it. Total. Okay, so it has already shown up. So you just double click and select, and then you enter comma. And then since we are using descending order, you just enter 0. And then you close the bracket and then hit enter. Okay, so you will drag for the rest of them. Great. Okay, so now we have the ranking. This is in descending order, which means the highest person with the highest amount spent will be number 1. Okay, if you have chance, you can go through to see if what we did is what is correct. Okay, so you can see that this person has the highest total money spent. So he's ranked as number 1. Okay. So let's go back to, so it says here that the columns labeled check-in date and check-out date needs to be formatted to show up as dates. Okay, so let's do that, and then it will help us to do this last one before we go to the lookup sheet. Okay, so this is the check-in date. Let me increase it a bit so that you can see very well. Okay, so this is check-in date, This is what? This is the checkout date. Okay. So in selecting it, you say we should do what? Format it as what? Date. Okay. So you can see here that they are date, but they have been formatted as what? Numbers. So in formatting it as a date, we just do as we've done earlier. Just click and select the whole data. So we use click shift click method. So just click on the first one and then scroll to the last part. Click shift on your keyboard and then click on the last part. Okay. So when you do that, you select the whole data and then you go back to the home tab and then go to format this as what? It's a short date. So you can see that it has appeared as what? Date. There's no more numbers. And we'll do the same thing for the checkout date. We use the click shift click method. Click the first one, you scroll down, click shift on our keyboard and then select the last one. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll format it as what? A short date. Okay, great. Now we'll come back to the number of nights. So the formula we're given here, it says that calculate from here, it says that calculate the number of nights the customer stayed in the hotel using the check-in date and checkout date columns. And then we'll be given a hint. Checkout date minus check-in date. So that's the formula we are going to use to calculate for the number of nights that each customer spent in the hotel, which is the checkout date minus check-in date. Okay. So our formula here would be equal to, and then we go to from checkout. Make sure that you are clicking on the right one. Checkout date. Let me do it here. Minus check-in date. Okay, then hit enter. Okay, so this is 7. You can count to check. You can check, cross-check to see if it's very, very true. Okay, then just click here and drag for the rest of them. Great. So that is that for these sheets for now. So we'll move on to the lookup sheet. Okay. So it says use the lookup sheet, create a drop-down list of customer names used by using data validation. So we're going to use the data validation to help us get all the customers' names here. Okay. So we do that by going to the data tab. So on the data tab, you see data validation. Okay, so you just click on it. And then in the settings, you come to allow any value, you click on and then select list. We want the list of the names of the customer and the customers. Okay, we don't want date, we don't want time, we just want the list of it. So the source, so this source is helping us to understand like which place are we going to get the information from? What is the source of the list that we want? Where is the source, or where are we going to get it? Okay, so we remember that we've already created a name range for the customer names on the data sheet. Okay, so what we do is just that we just type in equal, and then according to how you save in the name tab or in the name listing, you just type it there. This is how I saved mine. I don't know how you save yours. Okay, so you just click OK, and then you come to check. So you can see that the names have what appeared here. The names have what appeared here. Okay, if it does not appear, please come back to data. Okay, and check how you save the name or the name range for the customer names. Okay, if you type capital and then you do it small on the lookup sheet, it will not come. Okay, so according to how you save the name, just type the same thing in that data validation pop-up box, or let me say menu box. Okay, so these are the names. Okay, so to help us get the lookup, okay, so we are going to make sure that we look up the data from here, and then we put them here. Okay, so you can see room, you can see check-in, you can see check-out, number of nights, ranking, package. So we are going to, look up for these customers, okay, such that when you click on any customer, you will have to get their information as accurate as what is in the data, or the data sheet. Okay, great. So first of all, you can use any name, but make sure that you select and then make sure that there's a name showing in this box, this variables. If not, it will not appear. Okay, so first of all, start with room. So we are going to use VIN lookup function to help us calculate for what? For this. Okay, so our formula will be VIN equal to VIN lookup. Okay, so we are looking up the lookup value will be this customer name. It will enter a comma. So the table array is looking for which sheet are we looking for this very information from. Okay, so we are using the data. So you remember that I asked that you create a name range for the whole data on the data sheet. So we are going to use that as a table array. So according to how you saved it, you just type in I save it as whole data, sorry. So you can see that it has pop up. So you just double click and select. Okay, so we are looking for, it says column index number. Okay, column index number. So the column index number simply means we have already put the place that we are looking for the data from, which is the whole data, or which is this very sheet. Okay, so the column index number, Excel reads this, even though we have A, B, C here, but Excel read them as what? One column. So customer name is just one column, or A is one column. This B is column 2. This is column 3. This is column 4. And then this is column 5. And so it goes up to the last one. Okay. So we are looking for room. Okay. So you can just come back here and check for the column number of room. So you can see A, B, C, or let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So room is column number 7. Okay, so you will go back and then delete this thing that is shown here. So you just write 7, which is the column index number of what? Room. Okay, then you click on comma, and then we are looking for exact match. We're not looking for approximate match. Okay, so you can just type in capital letters false, or you can also double click on false here, and then you just close the bracket, and then you hit enter. Okay, so this is the room number for this very person. If you select another person, you will have to what? Change. Let me select this one, so you can see that it has changed. So that's how lookup works. Okay, so we'll do the same thing for the rest of them. Okay, so our function here will be go to VIN lookup. You select this name, comma, the table array is whole data. Okay, select that, and then the column you check for the column index number of this checking. Okay, so we'll go back to our data sheet, and then you see This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So check-in is 9. Check-in is 9. So just delete this stuff here. Type your 9. And then remember we are looking for exact match. You hit enter. Okay, so you can see that it's showing here as what? As a number again. Okay, so let's do for this one and then we'll come back to that. So our formula will be equal to v lookup. We select this, and then we use the table array is whole data. And then since they continue from each other, if this is 9, definitely this is going to be 10, which is a table. The column index number is going to be 10. And then you choose false here. Close the bracket and then hit enter. Okay, so you come, just click on it and change it to date again over here. So format is a short date. Click on this, go to general and format is a short date. Great. So we do the same thing for this one. Our formula will be lookup. You select this, and then our table array, which is whole data. And then we'll go and check for the column index number of package. Okay, let's say I don't know. So I'll go and check. So remember this is 9. I was 9. So coming back here, you know that package will be what? 8. Okay. So we'll delete this stuff here. It's 8. Oh, sorry, it's 8. And then we are looking for exact match. So you click false and then you hit enter. Great. So we'll do the same thing for ranking. So our formula will be go to v lookup. Select this name. Table array is whole data. And then comma, and then you go and look for the column index number of what? Ranking. Okay. So we know that checkout date is 10. So this is 11. This is 12. This is 13. This is 14. So overall ranking is what? 14. So delete this stuff again. Then you write 14. And then false. Okay. So we use the same thing for number of nights. Being lookup. Select this name here. Our table array is whole data. And then since ranking was close to number of nights, so if ranking was 14, definitely this is going to be 15. Then false. Great. Okay, so that is that for the lookup. We'll move on to the last part. It says use spreadsheet function to calculate these items. Use name ranges to reference the data and show results on lookup sheet. We've done that already. So think about how to display this calculation in a way that is easy for others to read and understand quickly. Number 1, count the number of customers without a phone number. And then what is the total of the money spent across all customers? Okay, so it says we should display these two on the lookup sheet. That will be easier for customers to do what? To read, or people to read and understand. Okay, so let's do that. So this place, we have columns there that have been hidden. Okay, so you just left click there click on insert, and then let's see, let's click again, and then I'll add another. Let's click and then insert again. Sorry, it did not come. Insert again. Okay. Let me widen it up small. Widen this one to small. Okay. So let's say I just want to insert it here. Okay. So I'm looking for the number of customers without a phone. Okay. So number of customers without, sorry, I'm not good at typing, without phone. Okay. And then let's see here. I also add the other one. Say total. The second one say total of the money spent across all customers. Okay, it says total money spent across all customers. All customers. Okay, so let me apply wrap test here, and I'll apply the same thing for this. Okay, and then I'll increase this a bit so that I can appear. Okay, so I'm going to calculate for the number of customers without phone. Okay, so you remember that we have already created a name range for this column, this phone column. Okay, we've already created a name range for that. Now we are going to calculate for the people that are without phone. So you can see that in here you have some blank spaces. So all those people, they are people that are without phone. So you are going to calculate for the total number of people without phone using a name range and a function. Okay, it is not advisable that you just count with your eyes and then just go and impute it over here. No, they want you to show them using what? Function. Okay, so remember we learned about count blank, and then we learned about counter. Okay, so in the last video we learned that count blank is used to count blank spaces in a particular workbook, or let's say a particular row. Okay, so we use that to calculate for a number of people without phone. Okay, so our formula here will be equal to count blank. Okay, then we use the range, the name range that the name range that we created, which is what? Phone. Okay, so the name we use for them was what? Phone. So just compute. So it will just calculate for you. And then we also calculate for all the total amount of money spent across. Okay, so we also created a name range for total money spent. Okay, so what we will do is just that we will sum all of them. Okay, so our formula here will be equal to sum, and then our range will be total money spent, the name that we created for total money spent, and then we hit enter. So you see that it has calculated for us using formula. Okay, if you don't use formulas, they will know. You can just track you off. You can see that the formula is here, so they will know whether you use formula or not. Okay, so let's see the last part. You see, the workbook must look professional, meaning that you should take time to create each worksheet. Here are some ideas. Color each tile, formatting the currency with $sign, make the output and input sales standard. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so let's see, I'll bold in this. I'll also bold in this, and then I'll bold in this as well, make it stand out. I want everybody to see. I will also go within this and then bring it to the middle. Within this, bring it to the middle. Within this, bring it to the middle. We'll do the same thing for all of them. Okay. Then I would like to increase the height a bit. And then I'll apply some wrap test to show very well. And then I'll go in that as well. Okay, let me increase the width a bit. Great, so that it can appear very well. I will left click and then the tab color, change the tab color, and then I'll change this one to tab color, make it blue. Okay, so I think you can check here, select every customer, you see that the name or the information will do what we change. So that is the power of what lookup functions. Okay, as time goes on, we also learn about X lookup. But for this assignment, we use bin lookup. Okay, so let me just set it to the last, the first person. And then make sure that you also clean up this table as well, or this workbook. Remember, these are heading, but they look like this data, this information. Okay, but there should be difference between them. Okay, let's try to add some small features so that it will look different. Let me bold in this, increase the size, and then also do this, and then put them in the middle, and then I'll increase them a bit, increase this a bit, also increase this, increase, make sure that they are showing very, very well, such that the instructor can see and anybody else can also see. Okay, increase this to a bit. Great. And then remember that they ask you to hide these three: address, city, and then state. They ask you to hide them. So if you leave it like this, you are going to get some marks deducted from your work. So just come here, click here, and then it will hide. Okay, so that is all for this assignment. Please follow for more. Sorry. We need to do what? We also need to format this as currency. I'm very sorry, forgot. And then we'll format this as also currency. So we use a shift click method. And then select all of them and then format this as currency. So great. So I think that is that for this very assignment. Have a good day. Please follow for more. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ciao, ciao.